Good evening, dear listeners, and welcome to UpyouwithEzinne. I'm so happy. It's another Saturday to spend with you all gisting about this and that. All things pertaining to us becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. How are you all doing? How was your week? Trust your year is already manifesting signs of being great. It's UpyouwithEzinne on radio every Saturday with a repeat broadcast on Sundays, 2 p.m. And I'm here to keep you company as usual. So let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezinne Kufure Kanem, and I'm your host. Our topic today is Woman, Own Your Greatness. What is greatness? I'm sure we all have an idea of what greatness is, but more importantly, we all have an idea of what it means to us. Greatness is rather a difficult concept to define. It's often used as a descriptor to describe a person or their work, and maybe qualified or not unqualified. Think of all the times that you responded great or texted great to someone in response to something they said or did. What was it about whatever it was that made you respond great? Can you qualify it? Or is it unqualified? However, our guest today on the show and myself shall attempt to define greatness, since we're asking women to own their greatness. May I remind you, dear listeners, that all episodes of UpyouwithEzinne are now uploaded on our YouTube channel. Please go catch up, take the nuggets you need to run your life and your dreams, subscribe and leave us a comment. Follow us on our social media handles at UpyouwithEzinne. Check out our website for upcoming events, giveaways, etc. and continue on any of the conversations that resonates with you offline on our Twitter handle or any of our other social media handles that best suits you. We've taken a 360 degrees approach to our program, making it convenient for you to listen on any platform that resonates with you most. It will help us to serve you better. Remember, it's all about you, finding self, finding purpose. Today, as usual, we are streaming on Instagram at UpyouwithEzinne, on Facebook, WFM917, and at gardenradio.com. The number to call once the phone line is open is 07000 917 917. The number to text is 070 317 56537. Woman, own your greatness. How many times have you thought to yourself that everyone else is great, doing great at life, work, relationship, etc., except you? How often have you looked at one of your accomplishments and attributed it to luck, or maybe the help of others? It can be difficult to acknowledge our own greatness, successes, and skills, and overcome the feeling of being an impostor, especially as uptalking oneself is often culturally frowned at, codededly. Little wonder women downtalk themselves and their greatness. Little wonder women suffer a lot from imposter syndrome. Acknowledging and owning your greatness is crucial to continuing on the UpYou path, and even to greater successes and happiness at work, rest, or play. The Boys Club know how to do this excellently. Emma knows how to package and sell his skills, accomplishments, and successes and greatness effectively. Whereas, on the other hand, an eminently qualified woman keeps downplaying all of the above attributes of hers. Why? Women, it's time to kick out the imposter living in your head. He, she, it, however you define it, is holding you back from being and owning your greatness. First, you have to be fearless. Then you've got to believe. Absolutely believe in your own greatness. Last week, our guest on the show, Leila St. Matthew Daniel, gave us plenty resources on how to overcome fear and turn it to our advantage. And today, Fearless Soul is singing about the same thing to us. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. What is greatness? Someone who owns their greatness distinguishes themselves from others, sets themselves apart, and is truly eminent in their field. Or, as it is defined, greatness, the quality of being great, distinguished, or eminent. We all know greatness when we see it, be it in a mind-blowing TED Talk, or in well-raised, responsible, contributory adults to the society, or in a career spanning 30, 35 years without blemish, or in a life of service to others, or in a medical sacrifice that saved the rest of humanity, or in standing for the truth and what is right, or in speaking up for the voiceless, or sharing with the needy. We all know greatness. So the topic is Woman, Own Your Greatness. And joining me by telephone is Adeola Kingsley James, life giver and kingmaker. Adeola is air. She gives people a reason to live. She's love and breath. She's light. She brings clarity and understanding. She's unconditional love. She loves you because of who you are, and she's an example on earth that God exists. This is beyond a bio. This is a purpose statement, a great one at that. I love this, Adeola, but before I get ahead of myself, let me welcome you. Dear listeners, please join me in welcoming a very special guest on the show, Adeola Kingsley James, a very dear and strong woman who is intentional about owning her greatness. Good evening, Adeola.
Hello,
how are you today?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, it is my pleasure and a privilege as well to have you on the show.
Thank you.
In my usual style, I just call someone up and I say, this is your topic. I'll start by getting your perspective of woman on your greatness.
I think the first thing I'll say is we have so many different opinions about who a woman is, and then who a wife is, and we blame both all the time. And for me, the truth is, not all women will be mothers nor wives. So when we hear woman, we immediately think wife, and we think, oh, is she a good woman? And then you think, is she a nurturer? Is she a giver? Is she everything? So for me, I think as a woman is an adult female person created by God to be able to multiply in all the capacities that she's able to multiply in. And so much is deposited in her, especially greatness to give the world. That's my own definition of who a woman is. And so for a woman to own her greatness, she must first know her essence. Because you cannot give what you do not have, and you cannot give what you do not know you have. So for me, the first thing she needs to do is own her essence, who she is, what she can do, how to also keep expanding her capacity on a daily basis. Owning my greatness for me is a daily mindset. You wake up knowing every day that you're phenomenal. And this sets your tone for the day and shows you how to take on the day, knowing exactly who you are.
Thank you, Adeola. I'm trying to let that sink into my skull, because I know I have these conversations with you from time to time, you know, and so I know that you're pretty loaded and very intentional about owning your greatness. But even what you said now, I need to just stamp that in my head, is a daily thing. You don't just become great and then stop being great or stop trying.
No.
Honestly, thank you. The stage is now set. Our parameters of discussion has been defined, and it's you brought on interesting angles. So I'm just going to allow this to progress on its own, because I don't know, you're coming from multiple sides. So I'm just going to let it take a life of its own and go. But let me also let you know that I promised our listeners that you're going to be defining greatness from your own understanding, So let's start from that. Could you please describe the word or the term greatness, so that we can establish where you're coming from?
Okay. So for me, knowing greatness is knowing what you are made up of and how to use it to your best ability.
Okay. So greatness
It's a quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quality or state of being great. That's what greatness is, knowing you are the solution to people's problems.
Okay.
Knowing you have the capacity without you and you are dynamic.
Okay.
And we all carry it.
Okay. Now I'm hearing knowing who you are, knowing where you're coming from, knowing that you carry solutions to some problems, and then knowing that you're dynamic and knowing that each and every one of us has a seed of greatness inside of us.
Everyone was born with it.
It's now left to us to nurture it, to really mature to the point where people are saying you're truly great in it. Okay, dokie. I'm loving this. The phone lines are open right now, and the numbers to call are 07000-971-971. The number to text is 070-317-56537. Please call in so that we have a lot of time to ask questions of Adeola. Adeola, I'm very happy you said each person carries a seed of greatness, because I was going to ask you sometime on this program, is greatness meant for leaders only? But you've told us everybody has a seed. So now I'm going to ask you another question. How can a woman, any woman at all, nurture this seed? It's one thing to have a seed, right? I guess many of us don't even know that we have the seeds, right?
Yeah.
But, it's like also, when we're learning how to plant things, when you plant a seed in the soil, you now need to tend it. You need to put manure to it. You need to pour water to it. And then Oyibo people have brought the one they call fertilizer. And then, it all depends on the kind of seed you have, the seedlings, When I was growing up, I was told that cocoa doesn't grow on time. But now, cocoa grows very fast because there's a different kind of cocoa seedling that springs up really, really fast. So what can a woman do to nurture the seed of greatness the woman has?
I think for me, it's first, and I'm very particular about saying knowing, because understanding is power, right? And knowledge is power. If you do not know that you have something, you can't use it. So for me, it's first understanding that I was born just like my God. And so whatever is in him has been deposited in me, which then means I am a creator. So now, what am I creating is the question. But for you to create, you can't. It's like you just said, planting an apple seed. Can it grow a banana tree? No, it will grow in its kind. And it will grow out its kind. It's like when the Englishman says garbage in, garbage out, right? It's whatever goes in that comes out. So are you showing up with excellence in everything that you're doing? So you're a shoe shiner. Are you shining it with excellence? Or are you just shining it because that's the only option that is there? And so because of that, if it concern me, you're speaking all these things, grumbling within you and shining the shoe just because na crayfish will make, how do they say that thing? Something about crayfish make matter bend or something. But at the end of the day, are you doing it because you are the best shoe shiner ever? And like I say to people, look, money equals three things in my own breakdown. One, the need for what you do. Two is your ability to do it. And three is the difficulty in people replacing you. And that also translates to excellence, right? Is the ability to be excellent, is the capacity you have to be very excellent. Of course, plus the need for what you do, which is excellence, and then the difficulty in people replacing you. You make a complete mark in people's hearts, and they know that this person comes with something that is different. What's your attitude? Do you smile when you see people? Do you say hello to people? Are you positive in your thoughts? Are you positive in your words? Are you positive to the things you even say to yourself? Because once again, you cannot give what you don't have.
True.
So it's by bringing that excellence into everything that you do and saying that everything I do, I'm going to be excellent at it. And it's non-negotiable. It's not optional. So people will see me and remember me for my excellence and for my greatness. So it's not just about, let's do this. No, but it's that everything I do, I want to do it with that greatness, knowing who I am. It's like Jesus Christ. I know this is not a religious show, but Jesus cursed the fig tree. He didn't look back to check whether it burnt out or not. It was his disciples that went back to say, Jesus, did you see what happened to that tree? Because he knew who he was. And he knew the capacity he had. He knew the audacity he had and the authority that he had. So that's what everybody should also understand, that I have these things. How am I using it?
Adeola, thank you. Where have you been all my life? If I knew you back then, I this road that I'm traveling on wouldn't have been so challenging, because I would have had the right attitude. Oh, geez. Listeners, this is what people pay a lot of money to Adeola to coach them. And she's giving it all out to you, all out to the universe for free today on the show. Please, the lines are open. Please call in to be a part of this. The number to call is 07000971971. The number to text is 070-317-56537. So, Adeola, continuing the conversation, it therefore follows that one can be a great follower and another can be a great leader, and none is actually feeling any smaller because you're great at what you do. Following your own example of using the shoe shiner. If the shoe shiner is great at shining their shoes, and you're great at coaching people.
Exactly. People wear it with pride. And then you'll be able to say, I showed those shoes and look at how beautiful they look. And it doesn't demean you. It doesn't mean everybody adds to the bigger circle.
Because you're in your greatness, right?
Absolutely.
And we're all great, huh?
Consistently.
No. Honestly, I wish I knew this way back then. Thank you. Now, what I'm hearing from you is like, self-confidence is the first requisite to human greatness. And then you're also saying that one has to have unshakable belief in themselves, in their ability to dream and to become. That's, to capture in my own words what I think you're saying. But you see, a lot of people come in and say, that they are not confident. They have some complexes. So I want to ask you, is self-confidence, can it be taught? Can it be acquired? Is there a way someone can learn to be positive and then have faith in themselves? Because, one of these days I learned that the opposite
four different questions.
Forgive me. It's because you're throwing these things, at me, and my mind is just churning out all these questions. Okay, all right. Let me just pause.
Let's answer
Take the one that
confidence.
Yes, thank you.
And let's talk about confidence first.
Yes, please.
For me, confidence is competence. When you're competent in doing something, you'll be confident about it.
When you're competent,
you're not. It's like when you're about to do an exam, and you start to feel like that fear. I don't think I have learned enough. It's fear. It's just like people say fear is a bad thing. Fear isn't. We all need to have fear, because otherwise people will be jumping from their houses and flying in the sky and doing all kinds of things. So fear is good for us. But what you do with it is what matters. So for example, you feel a bit afraid that, these are my exams. All it's telling you is you need to go and learn a little bit more. Now, when you go back and learn a bit more, you become more competent. And once you're competent, that fear is still there, but you're not able to face it. So that's what it is. So the reason why a lot of people think, I don't feel confident enough, is because they're not competent at that thing that they want to do. They're not yet as competent as they need to be in that thing. And that is why there's that prick in them. But if you go back and say, okay, what is this fear trying to tell me? It means that I need to maybe do one more course, one more class, one more hour, one more second. And then you feel that energy flow through you, and you're able to say, okay, right, now I can face it. And that's what it is. So for me, self-confidence is not taught anywhere else. It's by being competent at what you do and doing it well. And you will find out that confidence will be there.
Okay.
Then you talked about defaults. how does one stay positive? It starts with a thought. It starts with a thought. Everything on earth was created by a thought. So you first think it, then next you feel it, then it becomes an action, and then it becomes your result. So everything goes back to the thoughts. What kind of thoughts are you thinking? Are you thinking, if I go there, they will not like me? The truth is, if you go there, they will not like you.
Yeah, because you thought it.
Because you thought it, and not just did you think it, you created a script around it to say that when you go there, they will not like you. My question is, have you gone there? No. Did they not like you? No. So you've created a script that doesn't exist. It's a lie. When you create it, you become the director. You are the lead role. You are the actor. You are the producer. You're the executive producer of something that has not happened. Energy is the same time, is the same process. So why do we always focus on the negative? I understand that, okay, people come from also their past, right? So, for example, a dog beats me, so now I'm afraid of all dogs. But is it every dog that beats you? No, it was one dog. Now, could you have used that now to now categorize that every other dog will bite you? Yes, but then who's being limited by it?
You.
Exactly.
The thinker.
So that's it. So if you, the thinker, if your thoughts are not serving you, why not change them? People are used to complaining because they get benefits from saying, oh, I'm broke. Oh, yeah, come and take. Oh, I'm this. Oh, yeah, come and take. Oh, yeah, because they're benefiting from the situation that they're in. In my small practice, I realized that some people are not actually looking for solutions. They're just looking for other people to join them in the complaining so that they grow a bigger pity party. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. Because you spend that same time, why not appreciate rather than complain? Why not create rather than complain? It's the same time. Same time, same energy, same mouth, same thoughts, same people. So rather than saying, why are these people like this? Why not say, you know, what can I do that will bring light to this place, that will make this place different? Because it always starts with you, but it starts with the thoughts.
Something ran across my head when you were talking. You know, the first time you said you're just like God. You know, you're created in His image, so you're just like Him, and therefore we are all creators.
Absolutely.
And then when you were speaking now, you said you just created a negative thought.
Yes.
And so I'm like, my brain just made a quick connection. You can't be with God. You can't be like God or created in the same image with Him, and then you're creating negative things.
You're on your own. He's not even joining you in this place.
Do you understand? It just occurred to me that there is no way. And you know, I recently learned that the opposite of faith is fear. It's not faithlessness.
Of course.
My God. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening. UpyouwithEzinne. May I know who's calling?
Good afternoon. My name is Adeola. I'm calling you from Ojodigega. Actually, I don't have any question to ask, but I just want to say a very big thank you to you, Ezinne, for this program.
Thank you very much.
It's not only the women that are learning from this, even we, the men, we are learning from this. So I just want to say a very, very big thank you to you. And I pray God Almighty bless you abundantly.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Adeola. Thank you. Diola, someone is thanking us for the program. So let me pass on half of the thank you to you and keep half, yeah? Okay, I've got questions from the WhatsApp platform.
Please go ahead.
This one is from Tolu. Tolu says, Tolu is writing to us from Mangoro. Is that in Lagos? I hope so. Okay.
Yes.
So she says, for people who have tried severally and nothing is working, how do you motivate such a person?
So, you know, when you say I've tried severally and nothing is working, nothing will work. I'm trying to be as easy as possible. The truth is, you will get whatsoever you say. You will get whatsoever you say, whatsoever. I say to people who ask me that question, I say, so what do you want? And 9 out of 10 times, people actually do not know what they want. So they say, I want to be rich. Okay, how rich? Oh, if I just see 1 million now. Okay, 1 million what? Naira, dollars, CDs. Okay, so you get the 1 million naira to do what? Why do you want the 1 million naira? Who is it going to? What are you willing to stop to get the 1 million naira? What are you willing to start to get the 1 million naira? Who are you willing to support when you get the 1 million naira? People don't know. Oh, I just want to be big. Big, what does that mean? I want a job. Okay, I want a job. What job? Any job. So today you'll be a tailor. Tomorrow you'll be a mechanic. It's a job. Even God cannot help you if you're not specific.
Oh dear.
So if you say to God, okay, I want a job in an HR company in Oando, for example. I want to head the HR department. I want to earn $2,000 every month. I want to own a certain amount of car. I want to live in a certain amount of place, a 3-bedroom apartment with 3 toilets. As specific. Because it's only those who are specific about what they want that will get it. Then when you say it, do you actually believe it? Because a lot of people are praying. They don't believe in their prayers. Because God said, ask.
You're just shaking all the tables.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. People do not believe in their prayers. They believe the louder they shout, the better God hears them. God actually works more for me in stillness than in noise. Because even when he talks to you, he can't, even if he's talking to you in the marketplace, you can't hear it. So are you still? Are you sitting down? Are you meditating? Are you visualizing? Are you dreaming? Daydreaming, because you don't only have to dream at night. Do you close your eyes and say, this is the kind of life I want to live? But it must first start from a positive place, and it must also start from a place of you knowing what you want. Because if you don't know what you want and you just say, God, I just want to have a car. Okay, and he says, what car? In my practice, one of the questions I ask you is, if I had a magic wand right now and you could get anything you want, what would it be? And people get stuck.
Because they haven't thought about it.
They haven't thought about it. They haven't. So when it comes down to it, people do not actually know what they want. And so you cannot get what you do not ask for.
So even though the universe says, I am ready to help you, we are not placing specific demands on it. Is that what you're
not
saying?
Absolutely. Even the Bible says, God says, ask. God can read our thoughts now. He knows. He says he formed before you were even formed. He knew you. But the same God still says, ask. He still says, knock. He still says, seek, because there's a participation that comes from you. We're so free we can choose bondage. That's how free we are, and that's how God has created us.
Oh no.
So you are so free that you can choose bondage. And he's looking at you. He has nothing to do with him because he's not going to do anything else. He has done everything he wants to do. Everything. So it's for you to then know, because if you're see kings now, they groom them. They are born as kings, they are as princes, and then they are groomed. They are trained to be a prince, or they are trained to become a king. Now, there's a participation, there's a training, there's a time, there's a seed, there's a harvest. There's all those things involved. It's not just, oh, I want it today, and you open your eye. It's a process. Now, people don't like the process, but they want the end result. Now, for you to get that end result, you must go through a process. Gold is not gold until it's refined. But that refinery is fire.
Adeola, I like your choice of words. I'm visualizing your words. It's like you're painting a picture for all of us. The time now is 4:40. The program is Up You with Ezinne, and we're discussing Woman, Own Your Greatness. Our guest today is Adeola Kingsley James, and she is actually painting pictures with her words to let us see just how great we are. If only we but can acknowledge, nurture, believe, and then nurture. Jola, when we think of greatness, really, we often think about outward behaviors. But today you've taken us to the inward behaviors, inward thoughts, because nobody sees our thoughts, so we don't know our thoughts are limiting when we're thinking them. We just think about making to-do lists and achieving goals, but we don't know what goes on the inside. From what you're saying, we win on the inside before we win on the outside.
Absolutely.
So that also now brings me to asking, just what part does our body play in this our journey of greatness?
The reason why I'm sure a lot of people talk about the mindset is because your body only reacts to what your mind has perceived and brought into it. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, unfortunately, you're not able to control what it does to your body. Right? So you first must deal with the thoughts before you even come to your body. And if you notice, when you're angry, you feel it in your stomach sometimes, or you feel it in your breath changes. When you're happy, you feel it in your, because the tummy is the seat of all emotions. So what happens is you think it, then you start to feel it. And you feel it with your senses, your nose, you smell it, you see it, you taste it, you touch it. And then it becomes now a feeling in your body. Now, if it's negative, unfortunately, you can't control what it does to your body. So you start to have headaches, you start to have migraine, you start to go to the toilet. Some people actually even create illnesses for themselves from their mind. They just don't know that they are doing so. So when you may go through a certain situation, and then all of a sudden you start to feel, because it's so negative. And that's why we talk about forgiveness as well, because it can create cancers in your body. It can create all kinds of things in your body, and unfortunately you can't control that. So I will go back to the mind and the thoughts first. If you control that, you can control what happens to your body.
Okay.
And we have been trained also to believe that everything that we're looking for is on the outside. And my question to you is, if one shoe could make you happy, why do you have 20? Why? Because that shoe really, maybe a moment of happiness, but that's it. It's not in the shoe. It's like people say, when I marry, I'll be happy. You have to be happy first before you marry.
True.
Marriage is not a happy fire. It will actually even bring out the real you. My sister, maybe I created it. I am not even sure. It's going to try the you that is there.
Yes.
So you first have to be happy before other things come in.
Yes.
That happiness is within you. That joy, nobody is responsible for it except you. So when you look at it from that point, you then start to ask yourself, okay, what are the things I need to do to me, for me, that makes me happy? And the truth is, it starts with praise, because the purest thing you can do to yourself or give to yourself is your praise to yourself. A lot of people are expecting validation and appreciation from other people. You will grow gray hair, green hair, blue hair, waiting for people who don't even appreciate themselves to appreciate you.
Yeah, it's the way we say it in my family, in my home, is waiting for Godot. And
That's he never came. He never came. So it's first to say to yourself, I'm beautiful. I'm exceptional. There's something about me that when people connect with me, they can't even explain it, because I'm phenomenal.
Jola, please say that again, because when I came to this studio today, I told them, please, I'm beautiful, and they were all looking at me. Say it again so that they will know that.
Because they didn't teach us. They call it pride. If you praise yourself, they call it pride.
Yes.
But that's the purest thing you can do to yourself. How many people can actually praise themselves without putting God inside? Or just praising themselves? Is it possible? Because we're not taught. We're not taught.
But the truth is, we are also gods. Small G-O-D. Because, you can't be created in something's image and you're not that thing. That's why when you see my daughter, you say, that must be Ezinne's daughter. Because she looks like me.
She looks like you.
So there's nothing wrong with praising yourself.
In our praises.
Yes.
Right? But he's not waiting for your praise, because he's not bipolar.
Yeah.
He's not saying, if you don't praise me, then I will not bless you. Even if that's what they are preaching out there. But for me, that's complete nonsense.
Okay.
So for me, it's giving yourself the praise that you want. That will give your body the best kind of self-care, and also it will boost your confidence
and
if you
the
think that
energy
you're
to
lacking
just keep
in it.
going upwards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have 2 more questions from the platform for you. This is from Temisan. Temisan seems to be a regular because I've seen Temisan before. Okay, so Temisan says, how do we get to understand that we as humans have different times to blow? Different times that our greatness comes to fall.
I don't even agree that we have different times for our greatness to come to the floor. You're great. There's no time or season or best situation. You're great. It's like saying, oh, how do you stop God from being God? It's
Not
impossible.
possible.
It's impossible. So how do I stop you from being a creator? I can't. That's who you are.
It's a continuum and it's never going to end.
It will never. You're both spirit and man. You're beyond what you can see, because even when we die, our spirits go back to where it came from, which is God. So at the end of the day, we're more than what we see. Unfortunately, we just don't know who we are. But once you can connect with who you are, let's even start with, if you believe in God and you believe in the Bible, just go and read Genesis 1. It will tell you who you are.
Okay.
And read it to a point where you will write Genesis 1 with your name in it.
Now, you guys all have the assignment. Go read that book, Genesis 1, and put your name everywhere there's a name and own it.
And God said, and God said, so make it Adeola said. Adeola said.
So that's when you begin to understand just how great you are.
And do it every day, because the mind only learns by repetition. If you do it one day and stop, that's the end. But if you do it every day for 90 days, call me and tell me how great you are.
Diola, I'm certainly going to do that assignment. So everybody get ready for a new improved Ezinne. So now our final question is from a man, Moses. Moses is writing in from Ikeja. He says, what do you think about starting from where you are or with what you have?
I mean, that's the only place you can start. There's that saying that when you wake up, your morning starts, right? Or your day breaks. That's the only place you can start from.
Fantastic.
And it's just by saying to yourself, I am where I am now, but this is where I want to be. But then what do I need to do to get me to where I want to be? But you must first see it. Because when God spoke to Abraham, he said, as far as your eyes can see, I'll give to you. If Abraham only saw Omole, that's all God would have given him. So what did Abraham see for God to call him father of all nations? There you go. So it's what you see, what you think, what you say, what you feel. Prayer, to me, this is my explanation of prayer, is a marriage of feeling and thoughts. That's prayer. And when he talks about faith, you then start to act as though you have received it. So that then means that if I'm looking for a job, I will wake up every morning at 7 o'clock, prepare myself as though I've gotten that job because I've gotten it.
Yes, and go somewhere.
Exactly, and go or stay at home. Stay at home. You don't even need to go anywhere, but dress up as if you are now in the job and speak to people as though you are at that job.
Yeah.
Exactly. But people are not ready to do the work because they call it all kinds of things. They say this, they say that. Well, I mean, I can't help you if you're not ready to choose you.
Yeah. I can't help you if you're not ready to choose you.
Absolutely.
Diola, very deep things you've said today. But let me finally.
Yes.
I'm aware that you're championing a cause for us women and maybe some men to own our greatness. I'm aware that you have something going on IG Live. Can you just tell us in the next 1 minute why you're so passionate about this and why it is important that women own their greatness?
Well, maybe it's also because I didn't know how to own mine at some point in my life. First of all, I didn't even know who I was, and because I didn't know who I was, I answered to anything I was called. And once you don't know your identity, that's what's going to happen. So if they call you cow, you follow them because you don't know who you are. And so for me, my awakening and seeing myself, I mean, I think I practically had to lose everything for me to be able to be on ground zero, to be able to open my eyes and say, okay, where am I starting from? But I know that I need help. So for me, because I sought help, I got help, and I became a transformed person, I thought to myself, I can't keep this to myself. The reason why I'm shining is to be able to allow other people shine, not to dim it because of anybody. I mean, my light is too bright, please wear sunshades. However, I'm looking at it from the point of, if I shine, then every other woman around me can shine. And iron sharpens iron.
In case you're just joining us, this is Up You with Ezinne on WFM 91.7. All things are working out for our good because we're intentional. You can also listen to us on our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Music. All you have to do is search for Up You with Ezinne and lock it down. Finding self, finding purpose. It's been a very interesting discussion today. Adeola says we need to be intentional. We need to put in the work. We need to pay the price. Hello, Adeola, are you still there?
I'm here.
Sincerely, my darling, thank you so much for owning your greatness and coming on the show to serve up by teaching us how to own our own greatness. We say up you, woman, up you indeed. You have really given us so much, and we don't even know how to say thank you to you, but thank you very much. We enjoyed having you on the show, and I'm definitely coming to sit at your feet to learn a little bit more. Everyone in this studio is bobbing their head as in, you're pretty great. Thank you, and bye for now.
Welcome.
Yeah?
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Yeah, bye. My takeout today is that greatness is service. It's possible to achieve greatness by just focusing on pursuing your own interests. I want this car, I want that house, I want to be well known, I want to be an influencer, I want to be on top of the world. All of that is quite fine. But you know what? It's not going to feel great. You will discover very quickly that greatness, which serves only you, is empty. So, woman, to own your greatness, build giving back and serving others into every part of your journey. And you'll find fulfillment. You'll find happiness just before you blow, in the way we say it in this part of the world. So we all have seeds of greatness inside of us. I'm pretty great. I believe it absolutely. You're also pretty great. You better believe it absolutely and become intentional in nurturing your seed of greatness. Your seed of greatness. And before you know it, the number of lives you've served, you've touched, of your greatness, there will be no ending. Your life is a project, my dear woman, and you are the project manager. So be intentional. Travis Green said that to us as well. Because he is intentional, all things are working out for his good. It's not magic. It's just the fact of the laws that govern the universe. If you are intentional about what you're looking for, about what you're putting out on a daily basis, trust me, the things you want will come to you. Okay? So be deliberate in what you're doing. That thing in your brain, in your mind, telling you that you're not great, that greatness is meant for only this, that, and that. Just chuck it out today. Give it quick notice from your brain and then replace it with, I am great, I am made in the image of God, and you begin to own your greatness. Remember, Adeola gave us an assignment to go read a chapter of the Bible. Here, my dear women, is to your good success. I'm already celebrating all of you because I believe that you got the gist of today. And this is where we wrap up today's edition of Up You with Ezinne. It's been another amazing one. Let's take this conversation offline on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Up You with Ezinne. Please do get copies of our books, Up You, and When Adversity Strikes, Fight. Thank you. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week, starting with you, our dear listeners, as special guests, our advertisers, the callers on the show, the engineers on duty, the beautiful Esther that is already laughing even before I introduce her, and the amazing UpYou team, the best radio station, WFM 91.7. You all stay strong, you all stay blessed, you all stay lifted. Remember, you've got to do the work to become, so keep doing the work every day. My name is Ezinne Kufrekanem. Until next time, it's Up You.